Good morning, everybody. Yeah, that works. Do you want to come in a little bit more, Tom? We should have checked this a little bit before we started streaming, but I hope you're doing well. Hello, everybody. My name is Ben Bailey, or the one Ben Bailey. Oh, that camera. Lovely. And this is Tom Patton, one of the Warrior Lodge guys, actually.
Yeah.
How you doing, dude?
Yeah, I'm all right. Goodbye.
Good. We are here at the Quest of Champions Finals. That's right. We've had 4 heats so far this year, and now 32 players are battling it out to see who's going to be champion and take home a big stabber.
Oh, it is a real big stabber.
It looks pretty good, actually. It's nice. It's clean. You guys have done a cracking job, and you've got loads of other awards today, right?
We're going big. It's the finals.
Go big or go home. Every entrant got a cheeky little dice bag with some golden dice in it and some sweeties and some stuff, which is quite nice. It's
only the best for these guys.
It's nice to have that sort of thing. So, and once again, thank you so much for letting me be here and stream it for you guys. We've covered every heat bar the first, and next year we're going to do a full sweep. We're going to go start to finish, 1 to 5, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more stats about the whole tournament next year as it progresses, and we can see where the meta is and how it's shifted between each that sort of stuff and all that nonsense basically. But today for game 1 we have the I've been told to call him the Messiah, the bringer of pain, the wonderful Louis.
Oh yeah, has he given you like a little intro to do for him, like a WWE style, or?
He did definitely say, "I want smoke, mirrors, lights, lasers, everything."
Okay,
and I was like,
so he had a big rider of things you needed.
I can call you Louis.
Yeah.
And tell you that he's playing Fyreslayers today against Mark, representing GAF. Louis, Traitor GAF. That's what he is. Absolute Traitor GAF.
There's been some hot dispute on Twitter about it all.
There has, yeah. It's been a cheeky. Oh, it's been awesome. Sorry, I'm used to the word cheeky, right? I covered the War Machine Team Championships, and the word cheeky was used on average about 40 times a minute, apparently. So, but anyway, the players have already started, so we're just going to go straight into this little top-down. Oh, knocked the bastard. I'll go and fix that in just a minute. But we've got Louis and Mark. Obviously, we can see that they are playing close to the chest. You guys all determine your missions on a wheel, don't you?
Yeah.
Which is quite.
You got to be ready for anything.
Interesting. It's quite interesting indeed. And we've got Mark playing his Scarlet Doom versus Louis playing his Lofnir. We've got a couple of lists, so just to show you that the players are playing the game, we'll quickly run through the lists. Mark is obviously Scarlet Doom. Take what's theirs as his grand strategy. We've got a Spirit Torment, a Guardian of Souls with Cloaked in Shadow, Chillblade, Midnight Tome, and Shade Mist. A Cruciator for that horrific Shade Mist Cruciator combo, and a Spirit Torment, and then a massive block of 30 Revenants, 20 Revenants, 3 Spirit Hosts for that Bodyguarding, then 2 units of 10 Revs, and then a Purple Sun.
A nice list. I've been lucky enough to avoid Nighthaunt so far, so I might need you to talk me through some of this stuff.
Oh, definitely. We can go through the Nighthaunt book. Absolutely not a problem. It is a wonderful book to have. It has a lot of tricks up its sleeves, or its cloaks, should I say?
Oh.
It has the ability to give negatives to hit, negatives to save, all that sort of nonsense. Plus to rend when attacking them, and loads of random. It is basically just a case of, I want to play this game, you're not allowed to, fuck you. Pretty much how it works. And then going over to Louis' list. Louis' list was a little bit of a last-minute change due to some unforeseen circumstances, hence why it looks a little different. But we had committed to having Mark and Louis on stream before, so I was like, we might as well continue with it.
Louis' a bit more practiced with this list, actually. He's played Fyreslayers a lot, so...
Yes. He loves Fyreslayers.
Yeah.
He was going to bring the beefy, naughty, best of the best Seraphon list, Thunder Lizards, and just absolutely wail on some kids. But instead, he has decided to bring and grace us with his awesome Fyreslayers list, which I think is really good. I really like his Fyreslayers list.
I like it as well too.
I think it's got a lot of potential. There's not a lot of models, as we'll see in a minute. You know, he's got the Rune Father, the Battlesmith, the Rune Master, and then, 3 Rune Sons and an Incarnate?
Yeah, I mean, as a Giants player, I love an elite army. And what can I say? My heart's going to this one.
This is pretty much the same as your army, just in small ginger format.
Yeah, and I can appreciate that.
Look at that. Look at that gaff top there from Mark. We can see that the players are... We've got our annotation. You're going to have to give us a second if it is working good. We did just come back from Belgium, so all the kit was unloaded at, ridiculous o'clock in the morning, and I was here till about 1:30.
No, that's dedication.
Set everything up. It was terrifying. and it's horrible, and I want to go back to bed. Anyway, oh, I can show you guys the mission this time as well. You've not seen this bit of tech, Tom.
Ooh.
You ready for this? Bang. Mission. Auto-generated from what the players choose on the iPads.
Oh, nice.
Gotta look good. Gotta look good. Close to the chest. Obviously, all Warrior Lodge branded as well. We've gone with the yellow and the black, which is weird because I usually green and anyway. So close to the chest is a really weird like deployment setup, and the fact that we've got defender and attacker objectives always confuse me a little bit.
It's one that always trips people up, right? The alpha objectives.
Yeah. Yeah, because at the start of each turn, you choose which of your objectives is alpha for your opponent to try and capture. The majority of the time, we'll see, I don't know if my annotation's on this screen, it's not for the viewers, but we'll see the ones in the deep territory picked sometimes, depending on where the opponent's deployed.
But because of this deployment, you know, you can actually deploy close to all of those objectives. There's no safe objective, really.
No, I mean, the possibly safest one for Louis is this one down in this corner.
Yeah.
And obviously Mark is this one here, which is what we saw. We saw Mark deploy the majority, well, basically his entire army in this sort of corner, and then put 3 units in the grave and then summon them up here, creating a nice little cheeky little screen. Mark is very much playing for that 5-turn game. So he's not gone too aggressive. He doesn't need to. There is an incarnate on Louis' turn, and he's got to be careful about that. That double turn.
Does Mark have teleports?
Mark has no teleports in this particular list.
Okay.
He's done his teleporting basically by putting stuff in the ground and bringing it back up.
Yeah, because I was going to say, as an elite player, it's tough when there's this many objectives. Like, how many units does Louis have? Like, we must be close to the one per objective.
5, 6, 7 at the most.
Holding 6 objectives is tough.
Yeah, holding 6 objectives is pretty hard. It would have been worse if it was like Silk Steel Nests, where there's 8 objectives.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have loved that mission. I think that mission's phenomenal. I think it's a really good mission, but not a lot of people like it, unfortunately. But yeah, Louis had priority with being the battle regiment, and I think he's sort of banking on that that double turn potentially to really sway through some of these things, because you're going to have to.
Elite armies really want that double turn. They want to be as impactful as they can early in the game and get their opponent on the knees to really press for the rest of it. Yeah,
I mean, he's not really got a choice, right? He has to hope for that double turn, or he has to try and put himself in a position where it doesn't matter if he does lose the double. But, you know, letting Mark go first, Mark's going to go, okay, well, I'm going to play as reserved as possible. I'm going to feed you maybe 10 blade guys, maybe 20 into the left-hand side, if you can get there. But he's got the hold 1, hold 2, hold more, desecrate their lands, because the way this mission is, desecrate is actually basically, those are neutral objectives between the 2 players. So that's why he desecrated like this bit of terrain or this bit of terrain down in the corner and just went, you know what? Bang, we're done. No more.
How hardy do you think Mark's units will be against these Fyreslayers? Obviously, they're ignoring any rend that's going to play. But Louis has good mortal wound options. Yeah,
he does. He does. He has the mortal wound options, but the problem with the blade geists in particular and stuff like that is you bring them back at the start of the battle shock phase.
Yeah.
And if you make your opponent fail any battle shock, it's going to be worse because you bring more back. Mikey, welcome in the chat and welcome everybody in. I hope you're doing well. You are correct. He does only need to hold 4 because it is hold more. But what you could also do is play for battle tactics and try and make them almost impossible for Mark. Now, both players are great. Bill's having an early game 1. Nice finish. Because battle tactics and faction battle tactics are allowed in this one, it gives... I think both of these battle terms have nice, easy battle tactics for them to achieve.
Do you have them to hand?
If you give me half a tick, I'll be able to pull up what they are. You are asking the questions that I really should have been prepared for.
You did have a late night.
I'm on 3 hours of sleep, gentlemen and ladies and grots. There will be laptops here for the next game. I just don't want to abandon you to plug them in to charge them. This isn't working. But there are things like, I don't know, take what's theirs is Mark's grand strategy. I was going to say, he's got stuff that he can do, like Fright or Flight, which is good grand strategy.
Yeah, I mean, Mark's in a good position, you know, with Louis having so few units. Take what's theirs is very realistic for Mark.
Yeah, I mean...
especially with territories as wide as they are on this.
Of course, and because some of these... In fact, the magma drops are the battle line.
Yes.
Sorry, the Magma Drops make up the majority of the army, so all you have to do is kill 1 or 2 of those and then just move straight in. And then No Place for the Weak being Louis is a little harder because all these Blade Geists are a battle line. I think one of the things that's actually going to hurt Louis is that the Scarlet Doom with the Blade Geists are the mortal wounds on the charge. So basically, the way it works is you charge with a Blade Geist unit. Not only do you get your Nighthaunt buff, depending on whether they're scared, terrified, shitting themselves, whatever, you also get to roll a dice for every model in your unit.
Right.
And on a 5-up, it's a mortal wound.
That's good.
And because you have to be spread out so much, that Battlesmith's not giving the ward save out.
And how does that interact with the mucky blood on the Magma Drops?
I haven't seen that actually yet.
Does that happen in the combat phase, or does that happen in the charge phase? And when does the blood?
Oh, the blood. Ah, that's a very good question. Well, I am currently looking at the Fyreslayers. Let's have a cheeky look at the Runefather and have a look. 4 and fire stream. Volcanic blood. Roll a dice each time a wound is caused by an attack with a melee weapon.
So it the charge damage doesn't cause it.
Doesn't cause it. He could genuinely, with that big blocker 30, run into. In fact, the blocker 20. If he gets a charge on the Magma Drop, he can just run in and kill it.
Yeah.
And what's even better, which is stupid, the whole Nighthaunt army has retreat and charge. So it doesn't. You can't tie them down.
Well, unless you have, say, a 400-point incarnate, might stop the name.
Mikey put that in, and I think he deleted it straight away. The blood doesn't come back because it's in the charge phase, not the combat phase. The mortal wounds are done, which is pretty crazy. Right, battle tactics for Louis. Let's have a cheeky look at the ones that he can go. He's got Settle a Grudge. Each time a friendly unit is destroyed by wounds caused by an attack, make a note of the enemy that made the attack. When you pick this battle tactic, pick one of those enemies on the battlefield and kill it.
So it's like an eye for an eye that you can hold on to.
Yes, it's an eye. Yeah. You can keep it basically. You got to kill that specific unit, whereas eye for an eye is just kill a unit. But you know, it's one of those to get on with. Beast Slayer, pick an enemy monster and kill it. That's not a problem. It's not a effect in here. Grimnir knows no mercy. Uses Volkite Berserkers. Obviously not useful because he's not got any. An honourable death. Pick a friendly hero. You complete this tactic if the hero is slain during this turn by any enemy models. And any enemy models were also slain by attacks made by that hero. So what he could do in the late game, for example, is sewer slide one of his Magma Drops into that block of 30. Get at least one model killed.
So he only has to kill a model?
Yeah, models were slain, not units.
Nice little tactic.
Yeah. Seize by Force is you control fewer objectives than your opponent, and if you control more at the end of the turn, you get it. Also, phenomenally good for Louis' army because he is generally going to be a low account model. And Louis is a great player. So being able to pin down these things is really nice. And then last but not least is another death one, an Enigma's Death. Pick an enemy hero. You complete this tactic if the hero is slain by wounds caused from a throwing axe.
It's pretty much impossible.
Yeah, that's very difficult. Well, I think no rend, 4s and 4s, 1 damage or something stupid.
So Louis is going balls deep right now. There is an incarnate into 2 units. He's tagged both, and I'm guessing he's trying to get 2 Magma Drops into that 1 unit over there. Yeah,
well, we can see that the Kronspine has yeeted itself across the board, got this charge lovely into here, and we can see that 3-inch gauge down there, which also pulls that unit, but that ain't moving anytime soon. A little smiley face on the board there. We've then got 2 Magma Drops going into this block of 20. He's really playing for this double turn, I think, because hopefully these will be able to scoop this and then move on in here.
Well, he's got a bit of security, right, in that those 2 units tied up with the Incarnate are not going anywhere.
Correct.
So the whole right side of the board is feeling a bit more safe for him.
Yeah, and with having no teleports or anything like that, he can't just teleport himself out of combat. But he is doing a pretty good job of leaving a Magma Drop back here just to claim this objective. His little heroes like his Battlesmith and Runefather down here, and he's just tipped this objective up the top over there. Now, oh, sorry, I turned the whiteboard on by accident. Flash bomb for anybody at home.
Mikey has highlighted, though, that we need to see whether Mark chooses to pile in those Blade Geists, because the range of that Kronspine might not have to be wholly within the no retreat. That unit at the top might still be able to get out if you pile in with them.
Well, Louis also needs to be careful, because if he's already rolling his attacks. I was going to say, if he piles this way, this Blade Geist model is going to be closer to here, so it could actually pile out of the no retreat potentially. I mean, 12 inches is obviously this distance here. It's quite away.
I believe it starts at 10 though, doesn't it?
Oh, it does start at 10. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's 8, 10, 12, and starts at 10, doesn't it? Interesting.
So Louis really wants to pile towards those to get them caught.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't see why he wouldn't. But
although these Magma Drops are doing work, they are lifting that unit of Blade Geists.
They are hilly.
You know, not having the Cruciator nearby is kind of sore. Part of me almost thinks, you know, you've got those 2 units of 10. Do you just swap them out for like chain rasps or something? Take some really cheap chain rasps and use those as your pop-up on objectives and just throw away?
They do the same job and you'll get better value for them.
Yeah. No, he's not gone with the Kronspine yet, Mikey. He will be doing that last. There's no point going with the Kronspine now because it doesn't degrade. You aren't going to remove it until the end of the Battle Shock phase. You're not going to remove it from the table because it's physically impossible to lose it in a turn. You might as well do your other attacks before going anywhere else.
That one Magmadroth has done some work over there.
Yeah, I mean, what have we got? We've got 2 left out of 20?
That is good going. I mean, maybe Mark just rolled atrociously on the saves, but
let me have a look at the because that will have been the Runefather on Magmadroth, I reckon. We've got 4 attacks, 3s and 3s, -1, 3. The Ren's irrelevant. So you've got a potential 12 damage there. His Blazing Maw is D3 damage, 3 attacks. And then his Claws and Horns can be potentially 12 damage. So it's 6 attacks, 3s and 3s, and 2 damage.
I guess Mark just has to fail a few, right?
Yeah.
And they all sort of fall away.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm surprised that he went so forward.
Yeah.
You know, Louis was only on 2 of these objectives. He was only on his back 2 objectives down here. What Mark could have done, instead of feeding the Magma Drops this way, is he could have just tipped a model here and here.
Yeah, there's the whole Maw.
And then he's made it not impossible, but more difficult by letting... I mean, that's a unit of 20 gone.
That's rough.
By letting Louis go now and get into that, you've given those a charge move into your opponent's territory.
You've given him an option he didn't need to give him.
Yeah. And a lot of people, I mean, both of these players are just playing for a laugh, to be fair. If either of them win, they'll be happy. If either of them lose, they'll also be happy. I think they're having a good laugh. I'm genuinely, as Mikey says in the chat, surprised that this is...
But here you go. He's piling in those lads. I mean, the reality is maybe he's just thinking, if I can just downgrade it a level, that's also a good... He doesn't want to leave it on level 2, right?
No, you don't. If you're going to have to deal with a Magmadroth, you want to deal with it now rather than later. I mean, I tend to... not a Magmadroth, an Incarnate. I tend to just try and avoid them full stop.
Yeah.
I think that's my 2 cents. But these Blade Guys only have 2 attacks each.
He's not going to...
3s and 3s and 1.
Not going to get many in with the way that Louis charged in.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely within 10 inches now. I don't know what... I think Mark's biggest mistake was genuinely putting his models that far forward.
Yeah, I would agree.
He didn't need to desecrate. He could have, against the odds, really easy and desecrated in a later turn.
Like you said, he could have desecrated still and gone for the objective on the top right.
Just
still taking that objective.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd have... Yeah, and you could have used it to your advantage, you know?
It's obviously easy to say in hindsight.
2020, mate.
Yeah.
But, yeah, putting that there.
Yeah.
And then summoning a unit down here.
Yeah.
It makes this charge for the Kronspine pretty much impossible, because the Kronspine, obviously being a battle regiment, he had to go first, so he drops it down here. Even with a 12-inch charge, you're not getting all the way across this board, I don't think.
It's a tough ask, right? I mean, they'll still throw it forward, but and just put it up as a threat.
Yeah. Well, thing is, though, yes, okay, if Louis gets the double turn, all of these sort of things is a moot point.
Yep.
Right? Because Louis is still getting exactly where he needs to be. But you are putting that faith in that dice roll at that point, and you're making your opponent have to make more decisions. If you give them an easy out that has little to no consequence against you, it's going to be pretty easy for them to crack on. We see hold 1, hold 2, and hold more coming in from Louis, along with his battle tactic against the odds. Both players going straight into turn 2.
This is a big roll-off.
Huge roll-off. We've got a 1 and a double turn, I think, for Louis.
Yeah, that's rough.
Ooh. That is...
And that Kronspine looks to still be at level 2.
Yeah. That's what we can see with the big dice on the table. Thank you very much.
He's exactly where it needs to be. It's on the objective. It's tying up those 2 units.
Yeah, I mean... But we can see the back end of Louis' army just sat there, the Kronspine peeking off to the left-hand side.
Looks great.
Gorgeous looking army. I'm glad I changed these cameras for the nice ones.
Look at those spooky ghosts.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? It would be great if I had PTZs, but did it kill nothing, the Incarnate? It looks to have bounced.
So whiffed, yeah.
That's the problem with armies. Like New Giants book, right? I think stupid. Because you remove a lot of attacks, which means every one you fail,
it really stings.
It hurts a lot. I mean, obviously, everyone you get through hurts a lot more on the other end, but
they're just very swingy.
I'd rather roll weight of dice.
Yes.
Oh, Mark won it. Oh, it might have been a 6 rather than a 1. The symbol.
Ah, that's good. That's very good for Mark.
It is, yeah. I mean, that means that he's got a turn to be able to actually do something with. Against the odds is really simple. Very easy. Tries to get a command point and unfortunately fails it. It's not a problem. What are we looking at from this point? We can see.
That's nice. That's a nice little view.
Oh, that Spirit Torment just falling over. He's like looking at those magma drops. That. Please don't
he can 1v1 one of them, I think.
With his shopping bags.
Oh, yeah.
I think... Oh, Purple Sun coming out.
Ooh, this could be spicy.
I mean, it's not going to do anything this turn.
Well, it's more the additional rend, right?
Yeah, that's what -1 save.
That's what you want. And Nighthaunt suffer nothing for it.
No, because they're not affected by it.
No, they're not.
Which is crazy. I mean, I understand why, but...
It's such a great piece for a Nighthaunt army.
What is it, 70 points?
90 points.
90 points. Even so, 90 points, -1 save. It's not even -1 rend, it's just -1 to your save. Arguably better than -1 rend.
Because there are some, obviously, abilities that will ignore rend, but not ignore the sun.
Like, for example, if Nighthaunt were affected by the sun, they would be -1 save.
Yes.
Oh, no, because their save can't be modified.
Their save can't be modified.
Sorry, I thought it was rend. It used to be rend. They ignore rend, but now it's changed to saves. And yeah, I think he's just looking to get onto those magma droths and do some real damage to them here.
Do you think he goes into both, or do you try and focus down one?
I think he tries to go into both because he's rolling 30 dice.
Yeah.
And you've got, I think, weight of dice here play really, really favorably.
So are these the guys that do the damage on the charge, right?
Yes, they are.
So he gets to roll 30 dice, and every
5 up is a mortal wound.
How many wounds does a magma droth have? 14?
14.
He could kill one on the charge.
That's why I think he should go into both.
Yeah. Kill one on the charge, pile into the second. And
kill it, because you get +1 attack on the charge. Yeah. And if you get your shopping bags in and yourself, God, I might have to enter the raffle just for that.
It is beautiful.
You can get -1 save. Anybody want to buy raffle tickets on the stream? We can win all sorts of shit. Have you posted a picture of it on Twitter? The raffle stuff, yeah.
This is such a nice set.
It is gorgeous. The Clone Wars. Jesus. Big ticket items. Gotta sell those raffle tickets.
It is the final, so
yeah, it is. I won a Marvel Crisis Protocol starter set in one of your raffles, and then traded it away for resin with Bill, and I'm regretting it because I actually really want to play Marvel now.
Yeah, it looks like a great game.
It does. Oh, are we going to jump on the Marvel bandwagon? Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah, if you can print me some models, because they are hella expensive.
Yeah, they are. It's the cards that you need, but I guess you can just print them. Right, anyway, Scarlet Doom, here we go. So, after a friendly Scarlet Doom Bladegeist Revenant unit makes a charge, pick an enemy unit within 1 inch of that unit. If you do, roll a number of dice equal to the number of models from the charging unit. Every 5+ is a mortal wound.
It's could be big.
It's going to be huge, my dude.
Especially if he can do what was suggested he might be able to. Take out 2 Magma Droths. That's like, almost a quarter of Louis' unit army gone.
Yeah.
It gets a lot more difficult to hold 6 objectives when you've got 2 less units.
Yes, when you go from 7 models down to 5,
yeah.
it's going to be going to be even worse for Louis, unfortunately. But yeah, against the odds is a really simple battle tactic. I need to get some objective markers that are matte sprayed because that top-down light is killing me. Or I need to move it so it side lights. Anyway, yeah, it's.
Get some nice neoprene. Nice ducks.
I might do actually. They're pretty cheap. It's the. I'll try to get some clear ones. 60 quid for 6.
Yeah, the deer.
I'm like, what off?
Well, I might know someone that can help you out.
Well, talk to me then. I'll take those. Well, not right now, obviously. We'll do it later.
I'll not give you the pitch right now.
No, do it later. Right, anyway.